I am just thrilled to be here to recognize 3 extraordinary people who are helping to further Food and Water Watch's mission. Our first honoree is Sandra Steingraber. She's a biologist, an author, and an expert on the link between environmental problems and cancer. She is a leader in our efforts to ban fracking and end the use of fossil fuels.
So I'm the author of a trilogy of books on environmental health. As an adoptee, when I was diagnosed with cancer at 20, my mom had also had cancer at the same time. She and I were co-cancer patients together, and my aunt went on to die of the same kind of cancer that I had. But I knew that I wasn't linked to my family by chromosomes or DNA, so I immediately began thinking about what unites my family, which is the shared environment that we have. These things are not random tragedies. They're explainable by exposures that we have from chemicals and radiation exposure that other people profit from, and then we pay the price. My partnership with Food and Water Watch comes right out of that epiphany, because what's required here is not any one of us to try to go into a bubble. What's required is collective action, and Food and Water Watch knows how to do that. So when fracking arrived in New York, it kind of massed at the border like an occupying army. And so very early on, a lot of grassroots groups began to spring up to study it, to take action against it. And the only big national group that joined this conversation was Food and Water Watch. What I learned really early on as a biologist is that sometimes activism has to precede science. Activism has to open a space in the culture and build political power so that science can speak and be heard and acted upon. And in the end, the governor did the right thing and banned fracking using the arguments that we scientists gave to him. But we had to build a political movement to compel him into that position. And therein lies hope. Look, we banned fracking in New York State. And so it's a doable project. It's a winnable fight.
Thank you for all you do to protect our communities, our climate, and our planet. I'd also like to recognize 2 really special people who embody Food and Water Watch's mission. Karen and Alan Warren are dedicated activists, and they roll up their sleeves to make these victories possible. Thank you, Karen and Alan, for your commitment, your expertise, and your passion.
After the 2016 election, I was devastated. So I got online and I found Food and Water Watch. And I felt like these people are my people. They are fighting the same fight. They have the same concerns. It's like finding your peeps.
They get people involved locally where these issues are tremendously important. I would never really had the Williams pipeline bubble up to the surface if not for their bringing it to our attention and raising our awareness of what the dangers were.
The Williams pipeline was supposed to be going across New York Harbor. This is my backyard. The idea of that destruction was just unacceptable. So we fought.
The way Food and Water Watch shines a light on these problems that are so important today lets us know what issues are coming up, how we can get involved, who we need to talk to make a change. They get involved with these issues and they make something happen. And that's where you want to put your support.
They're planet protectors, and that matters to me.
And once you are involved, then you're creating hope because you're part of an orchestra. It's all playing the Save the World Symphony. Only you know what instrument you hold, but Food and Water Watch kind of gives you the score and say, here's what we're doing right now, so play along with the instrument that you have. So I see our fight as a David and Goliath fight, and we're David. And our slingshot was made of 3 things: science, love, and also grassroots political power.